Hello everyone. As we can see, the health crisis is spread all over the world. The coronavirus is a global pandemic. Coronavirus is spreading all around. Teachers and students are separated from each other. They are all their home. Nobody is allowed to come to college and schools. So, in this situation, we continue teaching via e-learning process. Me, on behalf of Pahalwan Gurudin Group of College, I am Pooja Yadav giving a knowledge on some topic. So today's topic we are discussing about organizational behavior. Under this subtopic over here is learning. Learning is an experience which causes change in behavior. Learning is a permanent change in behavior due to practice and experience. Learning is involved in almost everything that everyone does. If we do anything, we learn everything. If we give some experience over there, so we learn over this experiences. Learning is an behavioral change of person. Learning refers to the knowledge and skills gained from past experience which we can apply to evaluate present and future decisions and situations. There are different features of learning. Features of learning is many types. That learning should be permanent. Learning should be change in behavior due to disease, drugs, fatigues are not considered as learning. Change based on practice and experience. Learning occurs continuously throughout life. Learning is a permanent process which we can learn all over life. Not that we can only learn throughout a student life and a college life. No, it will occur continuously. So now we'll discuss about types of learned behavior. Physical behavior, symbolic meaning, problem solving and affective learning. Physical behavior is what will walking, talking, interact, grooming and dressing etc. are the physical behavior which we can learn physically. Symbolic meanings are we learn from words, symbols, signatures, signs etc. Problem solving is physical problem, what is good and what is correct for the situation. We have that senses to what is right and what is wrong. Affective learning, in this we can learn likes, dislikes, motives, what are the motives, what are the beliefs, what are the attitudes and goals. Then theories of learning. Theories of learning is first is connectionist theory. Connectionist theory is of two types: classical conditioning and the operant or instrumental conditioning. First we'll discuss classical conditioning. Classical conditioning theory is given by famous Russian psychologist Ivan Pavlov. The theory shows the relationship between stimulus and the response. So we'll discuss stimulus. What is stimulus? Stimulus is something that causes a bodily organ to be active. It is something that executes to action or response. Then response. What is response? Response is a reaction in answer to stimulus. So the classical conditioning theory is based on stimulus and response. Even Pavlov experiments told us he gave the experiments on the basis of stimulus and response. So he did an experiment on dog. He give the food to the dog, and dog respond to salivate. Then he give he bell ring the bell, and the dog is salivate, and he give the food. Then he again ring the bell, and dog is salivating after not giving the food to him. Then they how will apply it on organization. If we offer incentives to the workers or to the employees, the workers work hard for the organization. The second theory is operant or instrumental conditioning. Operant theory is based on the response and the stimulus, and this theory is given by the V.F. Skinner. The learning is based on the response mainly. If a particular behavior is favorable and is rewarded, such type of behavior is repeated. If we repeat some behavior, we will get reward over this. So work hard and receive incentives. It's a basic of this theory. The V.F. Skinner's experiment is to the pigeon trained to press a lever while giving it a food pellet. Every time the lever was pressed, the food was come to him. Of course, the first time the lever would usually be pressed by accident. Gradually, as each response was followed by food, the tendency to press the lever increased. It is concerned with learning that occurs as a consequence of behavior. That is, reinforce is a precondition for learning. The reward food or the reinforcement stimulated the pigeon to work and learn new things. Third is cognitive theory. Cognitive theory is of basically shows the relationship between its stimulus to stimulus. The theory is developed by there is two theory given for this cognitive theory. First one is given by the Kohler. Kohler is demonstrated that if a monkey was given two sticks, both of which were too short to reach a banana lying outside the cage, the monkey would have an experiment of inside. Without much prior exposure, the monkey would suddenly join the sticks together and pull the bananas inside the cage. This kind of learning takes place inside the mind. It is like filling two bits of jigsaw puzzle together. And second theory was given by the Tolman. Tolman experiments on the rats, white rats. Tolman's used experiment over T-shaped maze. In an experiment, the rat was made run through the maze to reach the goal, that is food. First time the rat reached the food at a place. Then second time the food was kept at some other place. The rat got the food for the second time. The process was repeated several times and the rat learned it. One day food was kept at the different place. The rat now got confused. Then took the help of some cues or signs relating to the stimulus, that is food. At the point he got a cue, smell of foods. So with the help of cues, the rat finally reached to his food or a goal. So conclusion of this theory is that thus the approach is called the stimulus and stimulus approach, because one stimulus or a cue, that is smell of foods, lead to the another stimulus, food, rather than SR, stimulus response, or a response in stimulus. And the next one is social learning theory. Social learning theory is based on this basically the theory which is They add on the classical operant cognitive plus modeling theory are learned through observation. One can learn through observation. Individuals learn by observing people around. They initiate the behavior of role models as parents, teachers, siblings, friends, TV artists, boss, movie stars, etc. This theory is extension of operant conditioning, that is behavior is a function of consequences. Individual learns by observing the consequences of the behavior of people in society. This theory consists of four processes, that is attention processes, retention process, motor reproduction process, and reinforcement process. Attention process is people pay attention to those when they consider as their role models. Retention process, people then remember their action even when they are not available. Motor reproduction process, models observed behavior is converted into actions. Reinforcement process, pupil continue showing the behavior of models if they get positive reinforcement like consequence.